What's going on, people? Sorry I was off YouTube for a while, but just on the way from work, I decided to record the video regarding what is the previously salvaged vehicle, because I came across one of my favorite YouTubers, which Dave out of Utah. He's a mechanic, hell of a lot more knowledgeable, and he said never buy previously salvaged vehicle. And I totally disagree on that part. What is the salvage vehicle, previously salvaged vehicle? It's the vehicle where the insurance company paid off on the vehicle, basically bought it off a customer. There's numerous reasons why it could happen. It could have been you had a deer, it was total loss in fire. It could have been hail damage, it's a flood, it's a theft, reject repair. What is the reject repair? You had a minor accident, it got fixed and you were not satisfied and you told the insurance company, look, I don't like the repair. This vehicle loses its value. So I want to see you guys buy this vehicle off and pay me off for the market value at that time. This vehicle, for the example, what about? It is flood. So the vehicle was flooded, right? Oh my God, it was flooded, it is done, yeah. No, it was not flooded, like flooded through the roof. So when I bought this vehicle, which is a little story, $900. I saw on the Copart, it was $900, called buddy of mine, let's buy that thing, I will take a risk. He's like, well, it's flooded. It could be anything. It could be group flooded, which is a lot of times dealers have a lot and part of it is low and it's a line of cars and then gets some of the cars was submerged in water and some of them literally the water gets up to here and they just group flooded it. That does happen quite often. Same thing with the hail damage. If they gets, you have a dealer has 80% of hail damage, they basically will buy out the whole cars, insurance company, and then those vehicles become previously salvaged, or the dealer decided to sell them without, but they obviously they can't hide it and it's not worth fixing them for them. And they devalue vehicle, brand new vehicle with the hail damage with 3 miles on it and it's a lot cheaper. Anyways, there's numerous scenarios why the vehicle have a previously salvaged title. So in my opinion, it is not worth buying a like brand new vehicle, but usually they're a lot cheaper. Not brand new vehicle, but fairly new, like a year or 2 years old, because it will take a lot more damage to total a vehicle. Way it works, I'm kind of all over the place. Way it works, if the vehicle, let's say this Scion TC, TRO, Sport, whatever the hell it is, it's brand new, 2025. So this vehicle is worth about $40,000. Let's do that example. And your car is parked and somebody side swipe from a fender, door, and a quarter panel. So we have to replace the fender, door skin, or the whole entire door and the quarter panel. This vehicle will not gonna get totaled because the value of the vehicle, it overcomes repair. And it's usually anywhere like 40 to 42%. It's kind of becomes debatable of value of the vehicle. So if that part is gonna be costing to repair $10,000, then I'm gonna total it. But if it's gonna cost like $16,000, $17,000, they will total it. But lately, a lot of vehicles getting total for reason being because the labor is expensive, the parts are expensive, the paint is expensive. It's just too many things. So you can buy yourself a vehicle with a very minor damage, especially older vehicle with a 10, 15 years old. For the example, like I bought the Lexus, they had a deer, so I replaced the fender, headlight, and a bumper, and that was it. There was no airbags deployed or anything. In my personal opinion, way I do things, I do not buy anything with the blown airbags. It is not worth it because you take too much liability and you selling that vehicle to somebody just in case if they get an accident and you put it in, repair the airbags and the seat belts and they don't work out, you're kind of liable for it and hopefully nobody gets killed in it. That way I protect myself. I will buy mechanical damage. I will buy like it needs a fender or a door or it needs a body work or something like that and I will fix it. And usually what I do, I don't do a lot often, but maybe 1 or 2, 3 cars a year, depends on the time. I will save the old pictures, like I will take a picture of this car or I send them to my YouTube channel, says, look, you can go look at it, what happened with this vehicle. Like previously and before, because I am not hiding anything, I'm pretty straightforward. So for the example, everybody understood what is the previously salvaged vehicle. It's pretty much the vehicle when it got paid off by the insurance company to the previous owner and the insurance company bought the vehicle off and then it goes on auction. They sell it, they're trying to recover money. So this car, 2012 Scion, it's real hard. It's a flood vehicle. So I called buddy of mine and says, look, there's a flood vehicle for $900, I want to buy it. So with all the fees and everything and transportation, I got $1,600 in this car. I said, you know what? I will take a risk. It could be submerged through the roof. It could set in the pond and everything. So I looked in the pictures. I'm like, I don't see any silt or mud. Usually it's sitting like right here or something. I said, whatever. I think it's a mechanical problem. And I was right. It is a mechanical problem. So what happened is they were driving through high waters and intake sits right here, and it goes in the box and it kind of goes in the engine and it goes down right there quite a ways. So it grabs its air from over here. What happened when you go to the high water, you end up pushing water and the water rises in front of the vehicle and they suck the water into it. And they lock the motor up and bend the connecting rod number 1. The engine does turn over, but when I took the intake manifold, which is this thing, it was full of water. I did drain partially oil from a transmission. There's no water in the transmission. I took this harness off. There was no water in the harness. I don't see any mud or anything. Took the fuse box off. I don't see any water in the fuse box, because what happened is if the vehicle was submerged to water and it got saturated with moisture so bad, you will usually later on will have tremendous electrical problems. Random check engine lights on, radio doesn't work, headlights doesn't come on because everything's gonna short it out, transmission would not shift. So in this scenario, I don't see why not somebody would buy a car like this. Plus, another positive thing about previously salvaged title, obviously the vehicle's pretty much we can call getting recycled and it gives one more life. Another thing, if you're shopping for some sort of car you like but you can afford it, usually in the previously salvaged title you can find one cheaper than actually clean title. It kind of gives you one more option. Usually these vehicles go for a hell of a lot cheaper than a book value, but depends on what kind of car it is and how bad it was wrecked and how knowledgeable you are. But some of the vehicles were most expensive. They kind of a little bit cheaper, but usually you go to KPB and it's like excellent value, good value, and so-so. So you go to so-so, and that's usually the vehicle value, which is from very good value to $3,000. So for the example, this vehicle right here, this is my opinion, I'm not teaching anybody, it is between 85 to like 11.2 clean title and everything. So when I'm done with this vehicle, which I bought a new engine, not new, used, but 99,000 miles, and the vehicle has 120. When I Googled the research how much this vehicle costs, that's what I come out, 89. So I'm probably gonna have to try to sell this vehicle. I'm not sure exactly how much I'm gonna in it, but recover my labors, parts, and everything else, and then I pay taxes on it, and I test drive it, and whatever needs to be fixed, and then I will sell it. And I'm trying to just make $1,000 to $1,500, couple grand or my phone is dying, couple thousand or so, and then reinvest it and buy something else. So Dave, he obviously don't watch my channel, but the guy who said do not ever buy a previously salvaged title vehicles, I totally disagree with you. Yes, there's a scenarios when a vehicle were fairly new and a guy in a major accident and its value is still worth somebody to fix it, or they have a big parts vehicle. Always, if you're gonna go look for, you came in and look at the car and they says, well, by the way, it has previously salvaged title, ask him for the pictures. Usually if the dealer has previously salvaged vehicles he sells, he usually has pictures saved on his computer and they can show you what it looked before. But the problem is, dealers don't want to show you this because usually they see the price they pay, but people who buy in it, they don't realize how much time and effort it's worth to put this in, and they just give you one more option to buy a car you want for a lot cheaper. So it's actually a blessing because insurance companies start doing this. Back in the day, they were assigned, like way back in the day, they were assigned with some junkyard, and junkyard would just buy the vehicles off of them and then part them out. Parts are expensive, labor are expensive. And that's why we see a lot more older vehicles, 10, 15, 20-year-old vehicle, a lot of them previously salvaged title, and they're a lot cheaper because this vehicle, for the example, if it was not a flood damage, didn't swallow the water, like the fender would total the vehicle because by the time you take the fender off, by the time you do estimate, take the fender off, paint it, and the fender has to be brand new, and then I suppose some sort of bracket broke or everything, and you are entitled to do your own inspection too. So once again, do not afraid to buy a previously salvaged vehicle. Obviously not in every scenario, but it does a lot of times to a repair shop who buys and sells it. They will not buy something major wrong and trying to sell it to you and trying to hide something because they're trying to make money too. And if you buy a car hit really hard, a lot of times it's not worth fixing, especially older vehicle, because by the time you pay everybody off, there's no profit left. But it gives you option to buy a cheaper car. I don't know if I explained this right. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment below if I am not correct or somebody disagree or agree. And I do what I do. Thanks. Bye.